Hey, 𝗟𝗶𝗱𝗃𝗀𝗃 here. I want to just follow up on our journey to $1 million as a new GovCon. If you're new here, this is day 7 of a streaming series. It's going to be 365 days. So go back to day 1 and watch it coming forward. It'll all make sense. If you're not new here, welcome back. I'm excited. I talked with a lot of you. I did training earlier today, live training on LinkedIn with almost 200 people. And I had people who were watching this 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃 journey also on there. And so it's super exciting for that. I do want to set the stage for today's video is that today's going to be a regrouping video. These are not training videos. I will train you occasionally in here as I go through my journey and I tell you what I'm doing. But my training videos tend to be a lot more formalized and focused and got slides, etc. And in this journey for 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 to go from $0 to $1 million in 2025, it's about raw, unfiltered approach to me building a government contracting business. And the reason I say that is because I'm coming to this video not having thought about 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃 at all. And I was debating, I'm like, do I wait a day and then get organized and come back? And I'm like, no, I'm going to come here every day. If you're interested in watching this journey and participating and learning along with me as I go, then you'll come back. If not, that's cool. I'm okay with that. I got other videos, so there's other stuff on YouTube. But the reason I want to call it a regrouping is because just like you, sometimes I'm busy through the day. If you can see behind me on the whiteboard, that is just one of the things I was working on today. And that's a huge new feature I'm releasing on a SaaS company I'm a co-founder in, and I need to have beta users. So I have 200 volunteers. I was like, wow, I need to figure out, I guess the other side, I need to figure out how to organize them and their approach to helping me. Anyways, my point is, just like you, I'm very busy. So how can I keep building my company, 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃, as I go along? That's what I'm going to talk about today is like, sometimes you just got to regroup and go, whoa, my day was really busy, but don't give up. Exercise every single day, right? When you exercise even a little bit, just put your tennis shoes on and go outside. When you do it every day, you're going to get in shape. And building a business, trying to get to $1 million in revenue or whatever your goal is, just requires you showing up. And for me, it just requires me showing up. So that's a little bit level set on today. Let me tell you what I'm doing. And I'm mostly kind of reminding myself what I'm going to be doing. So today is day 7. The first few days, I determined what am I going to sell, who is buying what I'm selling, who is winning what I want to sell, and then what are some of the NAICS codes I'm looking for. So NAICS codes, PSC codes. You can look, I'm going to use some acronyms if I've explained it in previous videos. You can go back and catch up, binge watch 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. Okay, so the reason I'm saying I want to regroup though is because I've got a lot of these things going and I need to pause for a second and go, I don't need to do something new today or tomorrow even go, hey, let me grab the next task and the next task. I need to look at the ones I've done already and go, have I done them enough? And so I just told you what am I selling, who's buying what I'm selling, and who's winning what I'm selling. Those 3 things. And so I'm going to go into slides. I have slides where I'm taking notes, not slides where I'm training. I'm going to go into those slides and I'm going to show you how I'm going to try to get a better handle on myself and on the keywords that are important for me to define what I'm selling inside of 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. Just as a reminder, 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 is my wife's name is Nancy. Co is for company. So 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 is what I'm calling the company as I stand up a government contracting business to get to $1 million. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. I am the president of GovCon Chamber of Commerce, co-founder of GovCon in a Box. I spent 20 years after I got out of the Army as a small business owner. And so I've done this before a lot. And since 2018, after I sold my last business, I've been teaching people like you how to succeed in government contracting. I've been saying government contracting is not a secret. It's just a process. When we follow a process like the one I'm going to show you in 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, you're going to have repeatable, predictable results. This is what I want for you. Okay, so I'm excited about that. If you've got questions along the journey, throw them into the chat. Let me know, and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. So the first thing I want to do, I want to go find my slides really quick. And I might have closed them, but let me just open it really quick. 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, the journey begins. Okay, so let me just share my slides and kind of walk you through what I'm doing. 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. Okay, so nothing spectacular. One thing I did do since the last videos I talked about it. So the company's called 𝗟𝗂, and it's a journey. This YouTube channel is a journey to $1 million in GovCon revenue. I want to show you that not only do I teach it, but I do it. And not only do I do it for my consulting customers, but I'll build my own company and go make $1 million revenue. That's showing you I know what I'm talking about, and the process is a proven process. So I shrunk down, and I'll show you in a minute some more of what I looked like, but I really kind of shrunk this down trying to say, if I was going to introduce myself, or if I was going to have a LinkedIn headline, right, a very short little, I call them an elevator hook. You've heard of elevator pitches. An elevator pitch is what you say when you get on the first floor and you write it up, let's say 10 or 15 floors or something. You're giving your elevator pitch, but how do you get on the elevator, right? And I call that a hook. You're trying to say just enough, like in the subject line of an email that you want to get opened, you're saying just enough that you want to be able to say, this is what we're doing. Let me get over here. I want to just spread this a little bit for a second. Okay, so, but I said my hook is we help federal agencies engage industry by maximizing the power of LinkedIn. This is communicating who are we helping? Federal agencies. What are we helping them do? Engage with industry, talk with industry. The government uses engage with industry. So we help federal buyers engage with industry. How do we do that? By maximizing the power of LinkedIn. I actually don't want to tell them any more about the how. When I start selling to them, I just want to talk to them about their problems, and I'll teach you more about that as we go. So I came in here and I did this exercise. You don't really need to see this, but my day 2, I went and let me make this bigger for you. I'll put me back in the small box where I belong. On day 2, I was looking at, I was using my keyword generator tool. And so that's free over in GovCon in a box. And I said, I want to do communication and outreach. And these are the 3 keywords. And now I got this. So today's regrouping, and I figure I'll just do it live with you. Today's regrouping is to begin to start looking at these words and go truly, I got 50 keywords, but do I like them all? Now that I've had time to think about it, do they all align to this statement that I'm saying? Let me actually grab that. Let me put it over here. Let me actually put it up here. Pay special. Whoa, what happened there? Man, I can't even see what happened. So we help. Oh, yeah, it looks good. Let me go back really quick. I'm gonna get rid of these notes. Trying to make this a little bigger for you. Okay, so we help federal agencies, federal buyers engage industry by maximizing power of LinkedIn. By the way, the reason I said federal buyers and not agencies is I'm really trying to help you, not all of you. Like you and your job, not your agency. Okay, so now I'm saying I'm looking at these things and going, do I like these? And I think what I want to do is go through this exercise of getting rid of these keywords that are actually, now that I think about it, it's pretty funny. I'm starting to look at this and going, I'm talking a lot about what I do, and I'm not talking a lot about the problem. So I'm going to bring that back in a separate day and show you. But I'm going to start tackling some of this stuff. Let's zoom in for a second. Content personalization, I can get rid of that because I already have content distribution network, but I don't even like content distribution. So I'm going to change that to content creation since I don't have that. I don't like creative digital campaign, digital community. I kind of like that still. Content, digital content curation and techniques. The purpose of these keywords is if somebody is searching for me, can they find me? And so I'm going through this exercise to get rid of the ones I don't like. I do like the communication strategy, community engagement. Yes, community outreach. I like both of them actually because I want to help a federal agency build a community around themselves so the the sellers are there when they need them. So I like that idea. Okay, so digital community engagement. So I'm going to get rid of digital. I don't need that anymore now that I see it. Digital content creation techniques. I might keep digital content strategy once. Digital marketing I don't want to do because I'm not a digital marketer. That's a different term. So I'm going to get rid of that. Digital messaging, educational outreach, follower growth I do want to keep. No one's going to search on that, but I do want that kind of keyword for the future. Grassroots communication effort, I like that. Influencer marketing, I like it. I like these two with influencers, and I could talk about later, but they align to my business. So interactive social media workshops, I like that. LinkedIn content optimization, influencer partnership, LinkedIn newsletter. I'm going to keep all these because I'm doing LinkedIn. Message development, I don't really need that. Online audience development strategy, I don't need that. It's too fancy. Online community building, I like that. I don't really need online influence expansion since I already had influence. You see how fast I'm going through these. Outreach programs. Yeah, I like that because the government calls it outreach. I'm going to go find a document to show you. There's really my ideal target customer within the federal market are small business offices. So these people who are responsible for working with industry. I want to go look at them because they have strategic plans, and in their strategic plans, they have listed objectives and goals that they have that are not the word LinkedIn, but they talk about like outreach. If I find those, I can start using their language. And so I'm going to go do that and come back again. Personalized digital engagement solution is too fancy. I liked it before. I don't now. Podcast production's good. I'll leave it in for a moment, but it's more of a how I'm going to engage industry, not anything about it. Public awareness, good. Public speaking, I'll get rid of because it's a different type of thing. I'll definitely do it. Just I don't need to talk about it. Public speaking training, not really. That's not my point. Repurposing is what we just will do. Social listening, it's too fancy of a word. Social media analytics improvement. These are all things we're doing, but blah. Social media engagement optimization, that's good. Social media engagement tactics, outreach optimization, which I think is, actually, I like that one better. Social media platform diversification, too fancy a way of saying Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. Social media storytelling, strategy consulting. I do like that, so I'll stick with that for 1 second. Stakeholder engagement, I definitely want that for the moment. Stakeholder, man, I might lose my power. If I do, I'm ending day 7, I'll start day 8. Stakeholder outreach initiatives, that's too fancy. Strategic message, I like the word amplification, so I'm going to leave it in. Targeted outreach, I like. Virtual community building, I like. Virtual networking, I like. And workshop facilitation. So I had 52, and now I'm down to 29. I really like this. So now I'm feeling like these words are tighter into what I want to do. I'm going to show you an exercise now. I'll write it down. Let me just write it down so I don't forget really quick. But day 8, I'm going to come back and show you strategic documents for keywords. So remember, I haven't started an LLC yet. I'm not doing any of that. And the reason I'm doing it is because I say you need to really have a solid understanding. This is what I sell. When you have that, it will feed into everything else you do downstream. Even when you form an LLC and the IRS goes, what's your company going to do? Well, what are you going to do? Figure it out then? Figure it out ahead of time. Make sure somebody's paying us a lot of money for it in the government, and then form a company. Okay, so I got this. The other exercise I want to do that I'm seeing, and I'll just put this here, and I don't know how to do this as an exercise, but need more key phrases, and that's what keywords are basically. Key phrases around the problem. So I'll come back to this later, but I'm just reminding myself here that I want to do that. Okay, so I've regrouped on what do I sell. I've got myself a couple of action items. I want to finish up by looking at the problem and going and looking at strategic plans. So I'll do that tomorrow and tighten it up. And then coming back to who buys what I sell. So I have these different groups where I said agencies, program offices, contracting offices, et cetera. And so what I want to do is just, I gathered all the data, but again, my life got busy. I didn't do it. So I want to regroup really quick and tighten it down. And so let me show you how I do that really quick. How do I do that? Like I'm just trying to share something different. Hold on. So replace the screen sharing with this window, with a lot of other ones. Okay, that's not working for 1 second. Let me stop sharing. I got to go find it really quick. Got 1,000 tabs open. FPDS, FPDS LinkedIn. Yes, got it. Okay, so let me share this guy. So the second thing I was doing was working on who buys what I sell, and I need to regroup on that and say, okay, let me see what's there. And so if you're new to this, I have these 3 main spreadsheets I have downloaded from FPDS, and it's showing me a lot of who is out there. This particular column is who buys. And frankly, I actually have already done that. So I feel pretty good with these companies. I've got 33 companies. That'll be my start. And if I want, I can use a couple of more keywords to get up to 100 companies. We'll figure that out, though. I might not need that many. But what I do want to do is go over here, like let's say LinkedIn. What I wanted to see is who is buying what I'm selling. So when I come over here, sorry, just take a second. Just got to hit every tab until I get there. So I've got the contracting office name, and I might have actually put these here. Oh, I already did. Good. So by regrouping, I remember where I left off the other day. So one of the things I recognized was that, so these are agencies. An example is, let me insert here, and I might be able to do some of this on the fly just because I'm a little bit experienced with the federal agencies, right? Let me grab this guy, and what I want to do is put in department. So let's just put it here. And so if I look at the department here, there is no department. It's called USAID. This one here, so you can just see them, Agriculture Research Services. That's USDA. So some of these are all just, come on. Hey, it's supposed to fill that in automatically for me. ATF, Acquisition Property. So that's DHS. Bureau of Fiscal, I don't know what that is, and I can go back and look at it. But CMC, so this is HHS. This is HHS. Committee for Purchase of People who are severe. Oh, that's interesting. I've got a customer who works on that, so I've got to write it down. I don't know who they are. Commodity Futures Trading. I think that's commerce, but I'm not going to put it there because I don't know. This one here is education. This one's DOE. This is EPA. EEOC, that's a very small office. EOP is the White House. Export Import Bank of US. I can't remember if I think they're under the White House. They might be their own, but I don't really care because they're not. I know that some of these are not big enough, like Export Import Bank in the White House. They're not big enough for me. Right? I want to build $1 million company in an agency or department that's big enough to give me $20 or $50 million eventually, like in 10 years, if I grow and I do really good work, that they have that much business that I could get that much revenue from them. But the White House and import-export, they don't spend enough in the IT space in the world that I'm in. Farm production, this is USDA. FAA is Department of Transportation. Right, so you start. I'm pretty sure it's Department of Transportation. It might be FTA, Federal. Yeah, I think it's FAA. FBI is DOJ. This is DHS, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. I'm not positive if they're in DOE. Federal Motor Carrier. I'm assuming it's DOT. Prisons is DOJ. Federal Railroad is. I'm pretty sure it's DOT. Federal Transit Administration. I'm getting confused. One of them is in DHS. FDA is in USDA. Health Resources, HRSA is in HHS. Hey, darn it, HHS. Indian Health Services, HHS. This is in Treasury. IRS is in Treasury. Maritime is in Department of Commerce, I think. I'll find out. But I know NOAA's over there, so wondering. So you can see as I come down, I'm doing this myself. This is NASA. This is NARA. Those are all, NASA might be big enough, but it's not really interesting to me because they don't engage. I know them and I know what I sell and they don't buy it. So, or they don't believe in it, which is worse. So as I come down, I can start seeing more of these and you can see I've got a good pool of agency offices to find. Like this one here, this is DOD. It's funny, I didn't find many DODs, right? Here's VA. USDA, this one's Department of Commerce. This is Treasury. Census, no, this is Commerce too. DOC. It's funny, I'm not seeing like Army or Navy or whatever. I'm looking, which is fun. What that tells me is that I'm looking for LinkedIn. So this keyword, sorry, hold on one second. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Arg. It's funny. Sometimes I get these things that pop up. I'm just trying to hide them. Wait 1 second. You would think I never recorded a video, but again, I told you it's raw. So anyways, the point is two things. I'm organizing this really tightly so I can see where I'm at. And I can see that there's a lot of LinkedIn and HHS. I can already start seeing that. USDA, LinkedIn, USDA, HHS, a lot of it in there. And let me just close this for a second and stop sharing. If I went into HHS, they're one of the biggest departments in the government. All I want is $1 million, and I'm positive I could get $50 million out of HHS over 10 years or whatever, however long it takes me to get to that stage. I know that they're big enough that I can get a good amount of revenue if I do good work. I have a friend who has a business in HHS. He does one thing, data, and he does it in one agency within HHS, and he has a $100 million company, right? And so this is doable. With 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗀𝗃, what I'm doing is showing you that it's doable by starting from the beginning and following the process. So today's exercise, for me, I just needed to use the time on the video with you to regroup and go, where am I with what am I selling? I got 2 clear next tasks for me to do on that. Not just show you, but for me to do that so I can build the company. And then I honed down on who's buying what I'm selling. And I'll look at that a little bit more and finish the rest of that column out. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up looking at HHS to start. And then I'll do a lot of one-offs as I decide later in the year. But HHS and USDA, those will probably be ones that I try to do some early discovery calls to see if I can get traction. More about that later. And so that enables me to focus. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back and I will show you in day 8 how I look at the government strategic documents to refine my describing what do I sell. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, put a little thanks in the chat. Just let me know you're following along. Either way, I will be back tomorrow. I will see you in the next training.